Okay, this is our final question of the evening, and we'll begin with Renee Rodriguez. As sheriff, what will your policy be on body cameras and showing ID when requested?
Body cameras will be worn by all officers at all times. Anytime that a consensual encounter becomes something that becomes investigatory, that camera will come on. Anytime a traffic stop is initiated, that camera will come on. Anytime a deputy is dispatched to a call, that camera will come on and it'll stay on for the entirety of the call. As far as the ID, I've worked at agencies before where an ID was attached to the pocket flap with a clip, and I believe this is what we will be doing as well, to have that ID readily accessible. Right now, the Idaho State Police has in their policy that if a person asks for identification, the trooper will present the ID, and I believe we need to be held to the same standard as the Idaho State Police, and by having that ID accessible, we will be able to do that.
I've got it, thank you. That incident that you're referring to has gotten a lot of play in social media. Body cams are important. They protect the officer and they protect the people that they're dealing with. And as long as the budget allows, every deputy will have one and it will be used in every instance. As far as the ID goes, I don't see a problem with having an ID readily available so that if somebody does request it, they can be shown it. In today's society, it's pretty easy to put a rotating red light on your car and it makes people suspicious. I also think that it comes along with a little bit of common sense with the person you're dealing with, that they need to realize that if you're in full uniform with a badge and you're talking on the radio, you're probably a real officer. But we can work together and make sure it gets done the way it needs to.
JR, would you like that repeated?
No, I've got it.
Okay.
Well, once again, we're talking about policy that was just stated to us as this is how it's going to be. It's going to be wrote in the new policy book. And the policy is going to state whenever you're to a call, that camera will come on. So the jury can hear what's going on dispatch, and it won't shut off until the call is completely done. None of this on-off stuff. The second part of that question is an ID for an officer. I have taught several classes to teenage girls, and I've always told them if they have a question on an officer, ask for their ID. There's officer safety and there's public safety, and it should be a public safety. If you ask for an ID, you should be able to show it. If not, I personally carried my ID in the truck. I've jumped out of the truck and got my wallet wet. So if somebody asked that, they could call 911 and get on the radio at the same time and tell dispatch, hey, I have this person calling to check to see if I'm an officer. So either way, you have two outs there.
Would you like that repeated, Billy?
Yeah.
Okay. As sheriff, what will your policy be on body cameras and showing ID when requested?
On the body cam part, yeah, definite thing to happen. I've heard some of the guys' body cams have malfunctioned or maybe have been shut off. If that occurs, then there's going to be an investigation into that, because they don't just shut off by themselves unless the battery's dead. And if the battery dies while he's wearing it, then it's neglect on his equipment, and we'll work that route. But the ID thing, I think, is fabulous. I think that's the best. I mean, you ask them for their ID. I need your ID, your license, your registration, insurance. How long does it take them to give you your license? 30 seconds. That's all it takes to show them your ID.
Cressley, would you like that repeated, please?
No, I got it. Policies and procedures, that's one of my big issues as being a county commissioner. Body cams, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department and any law enforcement has a different personnel policy manual than what the county has. Body cameras need to be, I ditto these guys. When you're on a call, that body cam needs to be on. It's a great investigating tool. It's solved a lot of cases. The ID, boy, I'll tell you what. As sheriff, any young girl ever pulled over in Lincoln County, you call 911 and ask for the officer's ID. You know, that will be a policy of mine that will go in the policy manual. Thank you.